South Africa is a movie. We live in a drama. It's a series. Every day you will be shocked by something new.
Now, explain to me, how does it make sense for illegal foreigners to voice out their problems inside South Africa? You know, the things that happen here in South Africa are very, very strange. So are you telling me that our government decided to ignore our cries as South Africans about illegal foreigners and the things that they are doing inside South Africa and the things that they are doing to us? They didn't feel the need to include that thing as an agenda on the National Convention. Yet they feel obligated to give illegal foreigners the stage so that they can shout out their problems when they have their own country. Does that thing even make sense to you? Who is giving us a stage out there as South Africans to shout out our problems that we are facing? Yet our government wants to give stage to illegal foreigners, want to invite illegal foreigners into a national convention of South Africa. Does that thing even make sense to you? You know, when Operation Dudula says this thing doesn't make sense, of wanting to give a voice to illegal foreigners in a national convention, when you are ignoring to include the things that those people are doing in South Africa as an agenda, it simply means you are just promoting illegal activity and you are neglecting accountability. You are neglecting protecting South Africans, but you want to give a voice to the very same people who are abusing South Africans each and every day. You know, we live in a very, very strange country, people. I'm telling you, we live in a very, very strange country. And if we don't open our eyes to this nonsense that is happening here in South Africa, there won't be a country called South Africa to talk about. I'm telling you. Because this is just nonsense, people. Nonsense. I don't even have a better word for it.
So earlier on, we were talking to one of the moderators, Umazibu Gojaha, and he was basically saying on the issue of migration. It was also a contentious one, but he also raised a valid point to say, you know, and I asked him, should foreign nationals take part in this dialogue? He had said, listen, if certain issues are issues of contention, they should also take part so that they can form part of the solution. And I can see your eyebrows raised there. As Operation Dudula, what inputs did you make, and do you support this notion?
So firstly, you know, there was, you know, a motive behind this whole thing. We were excluded from participating. We did not even get an invitation. Now, when I looked at the agenda and I looked at the themes, that the most burning issue in this country, which is immigration, is not even listed on there. And then it made sense to me. You can't have foreigners wanting to participate in the issues that are affecting us as South Africans. They have their own countries. They need to go and participate in their own countries. I mean, this is a national dialogue. It's not a continent dialogue or a globe dialogue. It's a South African national dialogue. I mean, I'm very disappointed with everything that's happening here. I foresee chaos. The processes are just, you know, chaotic. You know, we're going to be selecting a steering committee. Who are these people? Where are they coming from? Who are they representing? You know, if you are leaving out, for example, the people like Operation Dudula, other civic organizations that are patriotic, you're leaving them behind. Who is going to talk on the issues of immigration on behalf of South Africans? You know, it's total chaos, and you know, I just see this thing collapsing before it even gets to the ward base. I mean, they're talking about steering committees. Are we now having parallel structures here? Are we going to have a structure that's going to run through the national dialogue and have another structure running through as a government structure? Are they both going to be paid? Because at the end of the day, you know, something needs to happen. I mean, we want answers. We want the best South Africa for our own citizens. So who's going to get it right here?
So just for clarity, Zandile, because what I got from Mr. Chaha was that the migration will form part of those documents that will be going out to the wards. Have you been consulted on this issue? Did you yourself raise it in plenary today?
There's a lady that mentioned it. Well, I was not given that opportunity to raise my views, but somebody spoke about it. But you can tell that there is just no will. She stood up, spoke about it, and it was it. And I'm now shocked that it will be part. Why was it not included in the themes? Because it's a burning issue. Everyone is talking about it. I mean, the crisis in the healthcare departments, the schools, those are the operations that we'll be doing next year. Why are they not saying anything about it? How do we correct, the porous border that we have? Why are we not closing? Where's the budget? A BMA asked for just 2 billion to make sure that they secure our borders. Here we are spending 700 million. You just need 1.3 billion to get that 2 million. Why are they not using that money and make sure that our borders are secured? I mean, our government is just wasting our money, and it's not even fair for us.
I just want to say that if you actually took your time to watch the National Convention, National Dialogue, whatever you want to call it, and you actually still think it's something that we need as a country here in South Africa, then I'm afraid no one will be able to convince you otherwise. A lot of people have been saying before this national convention, months, weeks before, that we don't need such a thing here in South Africa because the state knows exactly our problems as the citizens. They know exactly their challenges. They know exactly their corruption. So we don't need the national convention. But a lot of people were in support of this nonsense. A lot of people were saying, no, we need this thing. But I just want to say that if, even after the embarrassment, the disgraceful event that we watched, you still think this is something that we need, I am afraid no one will be able to convince you otherwise. The moment I realized that illegal immigration is not a part of the agenda, this issue of illegal foreigners, this crisis we are in right now as a country was not included on the national convention, I lost all interest in that nonsense. Well, initially I knew that this is just going to be chaos. Nothing productive is going to come out of this thing. But I still had this interest, to say I am going to watch it and actually understand the mentality, the thought process behind such an event, just a waste of money like that. I still had that interest. But the moment I realized that there's no illegal immigration on the agenda, or the president isn't interested in dealing with the issue of illegal foreigners here in South Africa, I lost all interest in that. Because tell me, how is it possible for you as the leader of state who lives in South Africa? You know very well that the country has an influx of illegal foreigners who are doing crime here in South Africa, who are selling drugs, who are trafficking kids, who are doing a whole lot of nonsense. You know this. It's something that has been trending for years, not months. There's a lot of things that happen here in South Africa. They trend for a couple of weeks, a couple of months. But this issue of illegal immigration has been in the spotlight for years upon years. Yet he didn't see it fit. Yet he didn't see the need to address that thing on the national convention. That whole event was just a waste of time, honestly, because the issues that should be addressed were not addressed today. Instead, it was just a stage for the elite of South Africa to show us that they are elite and we are poor, to ask us useless questions that why are we poor and they are elite. That event was not for us as the South African citizens to actually speak out, tell the state our issues. No. We all know that it's just the ANC. This is just a campaign by the ANC for the coming elections. It's just that. But it was very concerning for me to realize that the most talked about issue inside the country currently, which is illegal foreigners who are doing a lot of nonsense in this country was not included in the national dialogue. How many South Africans complain each and every day about illegal foreigners? You know, there isn't a single day that goes past here in South Africa without illegal foreigners doing something, or without us seeing illegal foreigners on the news, whether it's Zimbabweans, whether it's Nigerians. But I can tell you that a day doesn't go by without illegal foreigners being involved in something here in South Africa. It's something that happens each and every day. It's something that people speak about each and every day. Operation Dudula has been trending, I don't know for how many months now, because they are fighting illegal immigration. This issue of the hospitals, people being chased out of the hospitals because they don't have documents, has been trending for a while now. Yet, the president didn't think that is something important that needs to be addressed. So, what's the reason for having a national dialogue when the issues that affect us as the citizens are not addressed? What kind of dialogue is that? If you watched that chaos that was happening there, you could see that there's a disconnect between these political elites and the citizens. There's a total disconnect, and this disconnect makes sense. Ask me, how does it make sense? It makes sense because how do you expect a person who hasn't been living with normal citizens for the past maybe 30 years to understand the challenges that normal, ordinary South Africans like us go through each and every day? How do you expect that person to understand? If you are going to say it's a national dialogue, I am here as Emmanuel, I only receive 370 rands from the government each and every month. And there's someone who earns millions each and every month through salaries and corruption. Now we are conversating with this person. It's a dialogue. Do you think this person will understand what I'm saying? Me who earns just 370 rands. Do you think my struggles, when I tell him that these are my issues, he will understand those issues? Of course not. Why? Because he is not living in the same reality. And if you are not living in the same reality, most likely you will never understand why the people inside that reality do the things that they are doing. I mean, this is just basic common sense. So, us as the citizens, conversating or dialoguing, whatever you want to call it, with elites, it's just a waste of time. Because first of all, they do know our issues because we always speak about them. But then they don't take these issues seriously because they don't live the same realities each and every day. That is why they feel the need for this national dialogue to ask us questions that they know answers to. Maybe in their minds, they think the answers that are going to come out of the national dialogue are different from the things that we always complain about, the answers that they always see, that, you know, here in South Africa there's an issue of crime because of illegal foreigners. Here is the answer, they see it. But maybe they think if they organize an event just to waste money, and they ask us why is crime so rampant in South Africa, and we say it's because of illegal foreigners, maybe they thought the answers will sound different if it's an event just to waste money. I am telling you, it's a disconnect, and it's a disconnect that makes sense. Take yourself as an example. I don't know you who are watching me right now, what do you do for a living? But let's say maybe you are a doctor. You know, let's say maybe you are a doctor, you earn 40,000 rands each and every month. Do you think, and you've been earning that amount of money for the past 20 years, your reality is shaped with regards to that lifestyle of a person who earns 40,000 rands a month? You know, it's been years since you've been broken into your house because you have proper security. You live in a gated neighborhood inside a suburb. You live proper. You know, no criminals bother you each and every day. Naturally, after some time, after some years, the whole concept of crime is going to not register in your head anymore because it's been so long. You don't even encounter any sort of crime. You don't see any sort of crime. You always hear it on the news that things like this happen, but you don't encounter it each and every day. That thing in your mind won't deem that thing as an important thing because you don't deal with it each and every day. Now, here comes a person, Emmanuel, who's just an ordinary South African who deals with crime each and every day, who gets robbed each and every day. Do you think if I come to you and I complain to you and cry about crime, will you understand my struggles? Well, yes, you will understand that there is crime and I'm struggling because of crime. But then you wouldn't feel what I'm feeling. You wouldn't understand what I'm telling you. You get what I'm saying? Instead, you would try to defend your own livelihood, so that my reality doesn't affect your reality, because your reality is better than mine. You wouldn't understand my reality, even if you once lived that reality and then maybe you turned into an elite. But if it's after many, many years, that thing won't register in your mind anymore. And that is what I saw when I was watching that thing, that these elites are disconnected from the citizens, because the lives that the citizens live, they don't understand anymore. You get what I'm saying? So when we cry and say, illegal foreigners are taking our jobs, illegal foreigners are killing us, they are robbing us. Yes, they hear that thing, they understand it, but they don't relate. You get what I'm saying? And if they don't relate, it's easy for them to not take it seriously. You get what I'm saying? Because they are not relating. So this whole what dialogue to me is just a waste of time and money, because it's a conversation between two disconnected entities. You get what I'm saying? There's not even someone maybe in the middle who can make sure that these people relate with these ones. No, it's just these elites who want us to shout our problems that they know. And then ordinary South Africans who are going through those problems. It's just a useless conversation of people who don't understand each other. The citizens don't understand why these leaders are so corrupt, why these leaders can't fight these serious issues in the country. And these leaders can't understand that why are the citizens so angry at us when we are trying our best. There is no best that they are trying, but in their minds, they can see the best that they are trying. You get what I'm saying? So people, let us not be manipulated into following stupid things, people. Because I am happy because that whole first day and second day of that convention collapsed. I mean, that is just a total failure. And if you think that thing was a success, I don't know. But to me, that thing was a failure, a total failure. Some of the officials they attended the first session, and then when after lunch they didn't come back, because they can see that this is just a what is that thing? What do they call it? What is that thing, man? A circus. Yeah, a circus. They saw this is a circus. We don't need to be here. After lunch, they didn't come back. Obo Khalima Mutlante abandoned that thing. Even the people inside the ANC can see this thing is just a bunch of nonsense. You get what I'm saying? But then us as the citizens, we are supposed to be following this thing. Let us not be patronized and manipulated into following strange things. This thing is useless because it doesn't address the real issues of South Africa. It failed to address the issue of illegal foreigners. The biggest issue here in the country right now. It failed to address it. So, to me, personally, it's useless. Tell me on the comment section down below, what do you think about this whole situation? But then, if you just enjoyed this video or you learned something new, please leave a like and subscribe to this channel. I would really, really appreciate it. My name is Emmanuel, and this is Mzansi Versity, the place where we transform lives through knowledge and information. Let's meet again on another video.